Welcome to Tuesday night. On behalf of First Amendment Sports, I'm Ken Meringolo. He's Kevin Ricca.
Oh, you switched it over to the left side tonight. You're killing me, Smalls. Happy to see you guys on a Tuesday. Happy. Hopefully it's cooler by you than it is by here.
Hopefully it is. He's Tim Strachan.
He's Smalls to my left.
My
Great
mom says I'm husky.
It's great to be here every Tuesday night.
She's
I
Martha
was almost
Stewart.
not here, then I was here, then I was almost not here. I wasn't here. It had nothing to do with my cancer, who I'm kicking ass in right now. Now I feel great. Everything's fine. Love being here with you guys.
I love having you. I mean,
I love you, man.
don't get me emotional.
Love you, Smalls.
Not this early. Sage is also in the house tonight. EO, what's up? Appreciate you providing this soundtrack to our summer here in the basement. Thank you so much. The Spotify algorithms are definitely confused by my choices lately over the last month and a half. Dislocated boner there's definitely a guy sitting at a desk who's like, another person requested this. I can't believe it. We got another one. Hey, Eddie, get down here. Someone else requested dislocated boner. But it's great.
My wife's been questioning Alexa's tone with me. Good evening, Kevin. Detached boner again? I'm like, you know it, Alexa.
Come on.
And how have you been today?
It's good stuff. We are almost to the end of the year one AD, which is obviously the unofficial title of our first year without
What is it?
DAN. If you spell something, it doesn't count. New Year's Eve is upon us. The year 2 OD, the Josh Harris sophomore campaign gets underway when training camp starts, or just after training camp starts. Next week, we'll have an abbreviated show without that, but then the following week, it's full on.
We're not really going with 2 AD, are we?
I don't know. Why not? It is the 280.
Can
I think
we move
so.
on?
We'll have a meeting, obviously.
I want the D out completely. No D.
You never,
I
ever.
don't want any D.
Oh,
No.
Then he wants the year 180 was
no
a
D,
good
please.
show. Well, then you know what? You better come up with some serious
Serious? Is that
options.
what we do here?
Well, if you say this team can't make the NCAA tournament, you know the rule. You got to tell everybody who makes their place. You know, you can't just kick people out. You got to put people in, or you can't just put people in without kicking someone out. How about that? Commanders news. There actually is some, and it's like within the last 24 hours. It's almost as if I'm not one to float around conspiracies, but it's almost as if Brandon Ayuk is giving us a gift on a weekly basis, because it feels like on a Tuesday by Tuesday basis we have just some kind of sprinkling of Brandon Ayuk news. I mean, it's a slow week in the NFL.
I think Brandon Ayuk knows we go on Tuesday nights, therefore he leaks it out for us. It's all a plan.
I'm sure there's other possible explanations, but that one certainly holds water. And he asked for a trade formally. Now, we've talked a lot about the drama around the whole situation up until now, the contract negotiations, but the formal request for a trade has occurred. It doesn't necessarily change the outcome in any way whatsoever. If San Francisco wants to just keep him as an awesome receiver for not that much money in a Super Bowl contending year, which they absolutely should. I think we're all in agreement. But now that he's formally asked for a trade, it helps us out a little bit. You know, now we're not prying someone away who's super happy to be there.
he's been sliding into our DMs, and now the breakup is official. At least
yes.
he's saying it could be because you're just not communicating with me properly, and we've all heard it. They've gone through it before. We talked about it outside. There's a chance. You know, this happens. This has happened with them in the past. Debo Samuel, same thing. You know, at the receiver position, which is kind of giving them the hesitation now to go ahead and have 2 top 8 paid guys in the league. That's
a lot.
That's a lot.
Well, it's a lot also when you have 22 starting players who could beat almost any all-time great team. I mean, they're all great. Their whole roster is great. They have plenty of highly paid players. I think they have 7 or 8 players who are paid at or near the top of their position group. And that's already a lot, and they're still good despite that. And you could say that the reason why is because they have the rookie quarterback. That's a huge deal. When Brock Purdy can play at his level for the rookie minimum, that helps a whole hell of a lot. But dude, they're name after name after name after name after name on that roster.
And his name, though, offensively, was at the top of it last year. Many statistical categories. The guy they relied upon. 61 of his 75 receptions last year went for a first down. That's bonkers. So we were talking outside of whether you think that might help a rookie quarterback or maybe it's not. And I understand maybe the timing's not right, but I do believe a guy with that type of, that Rappaport with the starting quarterback from previous, who's a guy that's a first down machine and a chunk yard maker. That spreads the defense out there, man, and that gives you opportunities and windows. And we know Jaden Daniels has the ability to get rid of the ball quickly.
Did you go with the Michael Rappaport in there?
Okay. I never say that correctly, but I'm glad you caught me early because now I'm on the defensive crowd. Okay. Now I'm sliding up on you. I'm guarding you full court the rest of the night.
I love a good Michael Rappaport.
That'll be our Rappaport.
Okay, I love
rapport. Rapport.
Yeah, rapport. But Michael Rappaport shows up in some things still to this day. I feel like I was watching a show like 2 weeks ago and he had like a random character on it. Oh, Fallout.
Rappaport just chimed in that we now know why there was a sticky 49ers roster under Ken's pillow. Just breaking news.
Well, it wasn't
breaking news.
It was I'd say more crusty than sticky.
That's going to ruin your guys' Rappaport if you keep on coming up with those statistics.
No, HR has come up.
I didn't report it.
That's the 7 sticky pillow that's been reported in this basement.
Well, we have the deductible is 100 this year, so we still have a ways to go.
Your insurance guy, it must be State Farm. He knows you like.
You when you invest in pillows, the way I do. What do we have here? Oh, by the way. EO, AGH, Greg Martin, Ken Harris, Rhett, obviously Sage, all the folks. I love the folks that are tuning in from across the ocean. Appreciate you guys hanging out on a Tuesday night with us. At the end of the day, it's crazy that we're in July and like this is a real football story for the 49ers first and foremost, and then for us second. Because he is a wide receiver one, he is a difference maker on any team. We do have a window that is going to be open during his contract, whenever he comes in, and we have the money. Our guy knows whether or not it's a good decision to go in on this guy because Adam Peters came from the organization where Ayuk is. If Ayuk was a poison pill or somebody who showed up on Sundays, but like all the stuff in between was terrible, we would know that. Like this is a perfect scenario. If he comes here, it's for all the right reasons.
And we also know, and they've admitted to, there's been conversations. It's been brought up. San Fran and Washington have had a discussion, and it's part of it. We're not hiding from it.
Does it explain it all to you in any part of your mind why we have this much money left over? Is there any possibility that's a reason why?
Of course, along the progression of Jaden Daniels, you want to surround him with the people that are going to make his life easier. Mm-hmm. You need that position.
Smart.
You need that position to be productive.
Money.
Yes, they have.
And they're not going to come out firing like people are. Yeah.
What did we say? Like 10 or 11 starters on our roster this year. They
11.
Taking 11 for $43 million.
11 starters that we just brought in, each averaging under $4 million, and they combined those 11 for over 711 starts in the NFL. Yes,
I mean that's a very good use of money.
Well, we're going to sit here and take it's a tryout. Is what it is. Let's bring these guys in, and a lot of these guys aren't here for a tryout. Old heads teaching the young bucks how to come up and what to do, how to be. And we just hired we talked about our guy last week. We got all kinds of. We're surrounding this young talent with a bunch of wisdom, a bunch of coaches, a bunch of guys that take care of them on and off the field. People to look out for the transition from the college life to the NFL life, which is not something we have ever been freaking anywhere good at, remotely close.
We've never supported a single one of our employees.
And now we just hired our third GM. Just shout out to Scott Federer. I mean,
going from none to 3.
Scott Federer. But yeah, man,
nice.
Just saying, he's a pretty cool cat. Double sport athlete in college.
Greg calls
a little older than us.
Greg calls it the GM of Thrones. He calls it our Game of Thrones. He said we have the most GMs of anybody on our roster.
Having a bunch of Carolina GMs since 2017 is probably it's not the most thrilling.
But they're still there, and we're like GM rich. We have so many GMs in our building,
and former head coaches.
And former head coaches.
I think we have 4 of each. Just in case anyone.
The head coaches, by the way, are much more welcome there, and I think there's a couple GMs who are there because their people are just too nice. They're like, just keep coming to work for another couple of years, whatever. All of a sudden you just won't be here anymore. And we'll be like, yeah, Martin Mayhew, Marty Hernley, they were great guys to have at the office. Loved the potluck day when they brought the lasagna. But you know what I mean? Like they're gonna get phased out in every respect of the thing. And by the way, that's the doing it right by right people. Like if they were dicks. Like, I thought Jason Wright was a dick, but for some of the things that he did, but obviously he wasn't. I probably was wrong, because if he was a true dick, I believe they would have sent him packing, but they would have sent all these guys packing, right?
If he was a true dick, they would have sent him packing.
The true dick, T.
Put that on a t-shirt.
My math is off on this one. I don't know.
I think that
that goes in the back.
Adam
of the
Peters,
t-shirt.
he's already put it like there's you would call it a power play if it wasn't just being done so kind of smoothly and like by the books. I mean, he's really approached every level of our organization. He's essentially turned over almost every single nook and cranny of our organization. That's all we could have asked for.
Needed it.
Yes, and he didn't do it in
a power wash and
he didn't. I guess I'm just trying to say he didn't do it with the kind of scorched earth manner that Snyder did it when he took the team over. It was a different kind of purge.
Because he's a good businessman.
Exactly.
And he has respect for the coworkers and the people in this league, and he's the type of guy that, he practiced what he preaches. How about that? That you're not going to get a lot of bullshit out of Adam Peters. You're just not.
The biggest dick was in charge for the longest time.
Yes.
So
hey, listen. There's also dicks involved.
Metaphor.
You got to have a couple dicks to be good. Let's be honest. You can't just have a bunch of nice guys running around handing everybody.
That's why we have three GMs.
But do don't do your dick as a coach. Don't do it out in the streets.
So I guess because the headline's out there and we don't know what's going to happen, I would say the most likely outcome is that Brandon Ayuk plays for the San Francisco 49ers. I think that remains the most likely outcome, right? It's the smartest thing for them.
Only because that's been the process for them. George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, Joey Bosa, all these guys signed one late June, mid-August, early September. They were all in the same boat, 1 year to go. Same exact. Everything was the same except for Adam Peters wasn't in the building right in front of it. So now he knows. He's been right in front of it. He knew this situation was coming. This situation has been talked about from the inside out. If anyone knows about this situation, it is Adam Peters. So I think he has his hand on the pulse of whether or not it's going to be a possibility or blah, blah. We're just not going to hear about it.
I have always argued, and I think it matters here, that if you pay a legitimately talented player market rate, you'll almost never be sorry. If you got the legitimate talent to back it up, and you pay the market rate for that talent, it's as expensive as it might be, you'll never ever regret putting that kind of money in that kind of talent. But because of the era that we live in the salary cap era, there is a limit to how many of those guys you can pay market rate to, and they are getting to the end of the line in terms of how many guys they can have at market rate. They have some of the best players in the league at their individual positions, and they're all gonna, they're gonna be coming up and. You can't pay every single great player at market rate.
No.
At some point,
But a lot of the really good teams, that one of those highest paid players is a wide receiver.
Sure.
The ones
especially
we see
now,
in and out of the playoffs in the Super Bowl, year in and year out.
Remember when that happened? I always think about this, and I know you guys think I'm crazy, but we were arguing about Curtis Samuel. Curtis Samuel was becoming a free agent out of Carolina, and we knew who he was, and we knew who we had at coach, and we knew blah, blah, blah. We knew that we wanted Curtis Samuel. We were obviously looking at him as the player that he was, what he's capable of, as a receiver and runner and all the other things that you can do with him if you want to. So we were excited. He got paid a 3-year, $30 million deal, $10 million a year. And I don't know if you guys remember, I don't know if it was Deebo Samuel or for somebody else, but we're talking like weeks later, the wide receiver market changed. Like it was, and if I'm Curtis Samuel, he obviously was paid well for the job that he had, the role he had, but the market changed right after that.
The role specifically.
Yes.
Because his role was more of a hybrid. They were talking about running a ball with him and getting into all this misdirection shit everyone and Scott was running and different role. He,
as successful as he would or wouldn't have been, I don't think he would have been necessarily better anywhere else than he was here. He just did what he was supposed to do. But had he waited a month and a half to 2 months, he's all of a sudden in a $20 million a year just because you're a free agent wide receiver at that moment in time. the market's the market, you know, and at the end of the day, you just have to you're going to have to pay for good players, and you have to trust guys like Adam Peters, and I think we do that you're getting the player that's worth. I mean, the market rate is the market rate because. You know, because the guys, you know, the Justin Jeffersons and the Jamar Chases and Tyreek Hills and all those guys, you know, that moves the needle for everything you do as a football team in this era of NFL offense. So is Brent, and I think that then the obvious question is Ayuk that kind of guy, like a Devontae Adams or a Jamar Chase kind of a guy? And I think the answer everyone's arriving at is yes. Like, you know, when you hear people talk about not just people in Washington or San Francisco, but people are like, yeah, he's a wide receiver one on most teams. Maybe not in Minnesota or Cincinnati, but Brandon Ayuk goes wherever he goes, he's going to be, you know, the number one guy. And maybe not here with Terry McLaurin, but if you have McLaurin, Ayuk, and Dotson, and you work in Eckler and Senat, that's something.
Terry's contract's in between 22 to 24 for the next 3 years. I believe it's 24 this year.
Yeah.
So for the next 2 years. So, you know, we'll wait and see. Hey, Terry's still got to feel out. You know, he signed a 3-year deal to be in this position now, so he can figure out what the overturn was going to be or what was going to happen with this crazy bunch of scoundrels. So I think something good happened for him, but we'll see. We'll see how he fits in. And I think he'll fit in just fine.
What did Greg gave us one of these teasers? All right, name the wide receivers. Wide receiver A. You listening, Sage? Wide receiver A. 4 seasons, 62 games, 269 receptions, 3,931 yards, 14.5 yards per reception, 25 touchdowns. Same amount of seasons for receiver B. 4 seasons. Same amount of games, 63. 30 more receptions, 300 more yards, same amount of yards per reception, a couple less touchdowns. That's two. So I'm assuming one of those guys is Ayuk. No, Ayuk's only played 3 seasons, right?
Ayuk's going into his 4th season.
Yeah, so it couldn't be Ayuk. Then one of those guys is McLaurin. All right, so Greg, answer that question. Is one of those guys McLaurin? I would say if McLaurin is one of them, he's B. I think he's B because I think he's gotten just over 1,000 yards, averaged over just 1,000 yards for his first 4 seasons. All right, so if McLaurin is B, tell me if that's right, and then we'll say who we'll try to figure out who A is. Roughly the same guy. I hope it's not CeeDee Lamb.
He hasn't been in.
CeeDee Lamb led the NFL in every goddamn statistic possible last year.
I know last year.
So, but I'm just saying, he had 1,800 yards and freaking 135 receptions last year.
He played 4 years.
CD's they chose the option on him. He is gonna make $8 gazillion, I think.
Yeah.
So, but he from this group of receivers, he's sitting out there. Brandon Ayuk, Chris Godwin also has an extra year before he gets.
Did Greg respond yet?
I think you're right. I think he's comparing
T. Higgins,
Terry
Steph Diggs
to one of the top receivers who's going to get a huge payday and showing how close Terry is. I think.
Ayuk 4
Although
seasons.
Greg's usually not one to bring up like positive news, is he?
He says Ayuk 4 seasons.
Oh, so they did. So okay, so he's playing out the option year.
This is
year.
his
That's
last year of his option.
All right,
Yes.
so I got it. I just assumed.
Is that Ayuk and McLaurin? I'm wondering, or if anything, and then it's Ayuk and Justin Jefferson or something like that. Like Ayuk's first 4 years is crazy.
Terry's first 4 seasons is B.
Yes,
Ayuk
got that
is
right.
A.
Yeah. So I think that let's put that in here. I'll get everyone a chance to see that.
What's up, George?
I was going to say George Shipian's made it to the board. All right, so we have a segment to throw by you guys tonight. So you guys always ask us questions, and we let me put this take this off. You guys always ask us questions and then vote on how we do. So we put some questions together. We're gonna keep a board. Are you
Gotta find out who's in here, Ken.
We're gonna find out who's in. We got over the next 5 or so minutes. Let us know if you're willing to play. We're gonna ask you a series of questions about a bar situation that we'll set up for you here in a second or two. and then we'll keep a board of all your picks, and then we get to vote on who we think the best drafter was. Right?
Yeah.
All
We
right.
have to fill 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Why does Joe Theismann keep saying Jaden Daniels shouldn't play at all?
Because Joe Theismann took a lot of hits on the head,
Right?
and he doesn't ever stop talking.
Why do people keep
He
keep
wants to be the
talking
center
to
of
him?
attention.
I know he does.
'Cause he
Why do
didn't play.
people keep feeding that beast?
He's entertaining. He's like having on like John McEnroe or, I mean, come on, shout out Richard Simmons. Why did Donald? Why,
He was
why-
awesome on
why-
Gladiator.
Why do they keep having him on every talk show all through the 80s? I mean, come on, because you never know what's going to happen next.
I mean,
How did the American League tie it up, Sage? Home run? Damn, they're lighting it up out there in the All-Star
no,
game.
somebody got knocked in. I
Okay.
saw.
Okay. Yeah, I you're asking the right questions.
Am I?
I think so.
Okay. I mean, it's been a really long time.
And in
since he
order,
played,
Greg. This
and
is an orderly fashion.
I can't imagine how many. I can't remember how many
Greg
times
is in.
Joe was right about anything.
Who?
Joe Theismann.
Well, it's just I think it's a. I just don't. Unless it can only be okay if it's based on something that he thinks or that he knows that we don't. Like if he knows that Jaden
They're
Daniels
not
isn't
telling
ready.
Joe Theismann anything.
I understand that. I think it's a ludicrous thing to say.
Dan did.
You should always play the best player. I don't think anyone's questioning who the best player is in our camp right now. Just because Joe Theismann returned punts behind two 95-year-old quarterbacks doesn't mean everyone should.
We should just give him like a camera and a microphone that's not hooked up to anything and let him just talk as long as he wants.
To be honest, have you listened to local talk radio lately?
I have not.
Yeah, that's why.
I don't drive.
Theismann's like a lister.
Oh.
it's tough out there.
It's terrible. I mean, almost. It's you know what? I mean, that speaks poorly upon us as well. Ultimately, I mean,
Well, listen, we gather over cocktails once a week. We're not in this conversation.
it's true. Hold on, wait. Ken Harris is checking in. Tough week for celebrities. Has someone checked on our team mom?
Seriously,
What's going on?
It's true.
She's there.
Is she okay?
No,
Wait a
we got to
second.
make sure.
Let's put this up there. There you go. Ken Harris.
Ken, you don't have alerts on Martha? On
I
your
thought.
phone?
listen.
I would. I'll tell you what. If something had happened to Martha Stewart, I'm pretty sure I would have heard.
I didn't know for 2 weeks that what's his name? The Bill Walton died.
What?
That was so quiet.
No, it
No,
wasn't.
come
Yes,
on,
it
dude.
was. I may have been kind of preoccupied with other stuff.
You
but
must have been.
Yeah,
2
right.
weeks had passed. I was like, when the hell did Bill Walton
You were
die?
dealing with a couple of more
I guess
pressing
maybe
situations.
I probably was. I was
Yeah.
probably not just in my feeds.
Like Dr. Ruth passing. Yes.
Yeah. What about?
Did you shed a tear, Ken, when
God.
Richard Simmons.
Richard Simmons died?
Wait, I didn't even hear about this.
What?
What are you talking? Why do you think I just said the Richard
What the
Simmons
hell is
joke?
wrong with you?
When
Where
did-
have
when
you
did-
Him
been?
and Dr. Ruth died on the same day.
When?
This is ballsy of you, Ken.
I'm asking for real.
It was.
How long ago
I
were we
think it was
talking?
the same day that former president had an assassination attempt. It was a lot of.
Okay,
shit
so
going
over the
on.
last couple days.
Yes.
All
It
right.
was
So,
in- it
dude,
was
I
in-
was keeping this
It was in
weekend.
that same media cycle, and
I stayed away from all of the
yeah,
news.
Richard Simmons, Dr. Ruth. Yeah, it was sweating to the oldies.
No, Martha's fine.
Okay. All right.
I don't know what Ken's doing.
I
said
had
Richard
no
I think
idea.
Ken just missed her picture. That's all.
What's
They said Richard Simmons helped humanity lose over 12 million pounds.
That's amazing.
I'll tell
Well,
you.
you just need to look at those shorts real quick, and you don't feel all that hungry.
No,
you know?
there's
It was
not
great.
a lot of hunger involved around him.
No,
It was always fun seeing him
I
on,
liked,
like,
I liked Richard
Maury
Simmons. He was fun.
And all
Everyone
the talk
knew him.
shows,
Yeah.
he would
He
get
was-
made fun of, and then like Johnny Carson, where it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he didn't care. That
Nah,
I
he
was
was-
No, he did.
He did.
He had.
He
well,
was
he was
sensitive.
very sensitive.
Oh,
he took
really?
it well
No,
on
of course he
camera,
was.
but I think it tore him up.
Sorry,
inside.
Ken. Shannon
He was
Doherty
a
also.
mess.
I
Yeah,
knew, that
Shannon-
one I knew about. I knew
He
about
was a
Shannon
mess.
Doherty.
He did a lot of great things, though, too.
He did. He
You
did.
know what? The
I
Shannon
never
Doherty
had a
one
problem
was
with him.
super
No,
difficult.
that's
He just
what I'm
got
saying.
weird.
Well, I mean, let's be honest, he was always a little bit different.
Yeah, he just got weird.
He wore that same outfit for 40 years, dude.
Best Shannon Doherty role.
Hey.
Sage, best Shannon Doherty role.
Yeah, I don't.
Anyone? You're going Heather's?
Never seen it.
I thought someone said Heather's.
Beverly Hills 90210.
Yeah, I mean that's the only thing I know her
Walsh.
from.
What's her name?
She got controversial. Though.
Mallrats. She
kinda
was great in Mallrats.
She was kind of on the B list for a long time, wasn't she?
No, she was
She's kind
just
of a bitch.
she was just crazy and whatever.
She had a good cooking show. I liked. That's what I liked.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
She also did, what was that show, Charmed or whatever, that no one ever knew what it was, but
Shut up! You used to watch
You
it.
turned
all
it
the
on the
time.
TV. I have no idea. I don't know anything about it.
It was not on the
You got it
WB,
on
was it?
DVD.
There was
I
like
know it.
4
Got the box. set.
MILF hotties from like the 90s who were all like the co-stars. And I had no idea what it was all about, but if I turned the TV on and it was on, I probably wasn't turning it right away, kind of a situation. But anyways,
No,
may she
she
rest
never
in
did it for
peace.
me.
May she rest in peace.
I never knew what the big deal was.
Shannon Doherty?
I agree.
What was it? It was Brandon. Oh, Brenda Walsh. Gotcha.
It was a cool role for her, but like, yeah.
I understand.
She was
Wasn't my favorite on 90210 by any stretch. Jenny Garth was by far, leagues ahead as an actress and artist.
Jenny Garth was meh.
Meh. You're more of a Andrea Zuckerman.
No. I wasn't a
Garth
big
was the
Nancy
hottest.
Just
Garth was the hottest on the
just
show.
a straight Luke Perry guy.
Don't tell me. Don't tell me spelling. Come on, dude.
No, it just wasn't. It was
Those
a cool
eyes.
show, but
Those eyes were creepy.
it was a cool show, but they all had crazy 80. I don't know. I was a little more into Melrose Place, to be honest.
I wasn't mature
this
enough
what we've
for a
come
Melrose
If we're
Place.
talking rosters, I mean, I'm just being
Okay,
honest.
I understand the roster scenario, but
Yeah.
I still, to me, it was like, I can't watch. That show's about adults. I'm just a mere
Young
whatever
adult.
young adult. All right, so
we were teens. We were what, 14, 15, 16, 16, 17, 18, something like that.
Yeah, right around there.
All right. I'm breaking this up.
We're waiting for
Can we
people
get
to
some
weigh in.
pictures?
No,
All
no.
right, so we got Greg, we got Sage, we got Ken Harris, we got AGH. Who said it? I don't know actually if he
Nice.
wants to do it. EO, where the hell is EO?
Where you at, EO?
Where you at? Greg's
I think he's
obviously
in.
in.
I think he's in the recording studio.
AGH, you got it. You're going to kill it. I know it.
All right.
You got an order, Kev?
Yeah. Well, we don't have to do. We can just put it out there. We can do
All
it
right,
round by
let's go.
round. All right.
Free for
So
all.
All right. Yeah, that sounds good. Russ will be sitting there waiting for
Free
someone
for
the
all.
whole
Let's
time.
do it.
the idea is
Pay attention to Ken.
this.
Go ahead, Ken.
You find yourself marooned, like Matt Damon in The Martian, kind of like that, in a situation similar to that.
You're never coming back to
Although
Earth.
you're never coming back. They
done.
don't know you're there. You have
done.
no way back.
Gone.
You live on the wrong planet for the rest of your existence.
No way back.
And in that time, you actually do come across intelligent life, and they're so intelligent and they're so far advanced that not only do they save you and absolutely save you from the rough terrain of Mars, but they give you the opportunity to create this fantasy scenario that they can create and make real. And it's a bar. It's a bar scene. You're sitting at a bar in a bar stool, and you have to make some decisions about who's sitting around you, what you're doing at that bar stool, and what's going on in this
It could be
particular
a
bar.
booth if they want to. It could be a table.
I like Barstool. We're going Barstool.
I think you have to be
saying.
sitting
We're
at a
going-
bar stool.
Some people
MT,
like the lounge
you can,
style.
You can no.
Yeah, some people do.
Well, I don't.
Yeah,
Sorry, I made the game up. You're
Oh,
fired.
I thought they
You're
could make the bar.
fired.
I thought they could
No.
make their own bar.
it's a bar stool. No,
No,
Jesus.
no, you're going all about it the
out.
wrong way. Why are you Brett
I'm
Strachan?
voting. That's about it.
Come on, Brett. Take it easy.
I was just trying to give ideas, but I didn't know we had such a
I got them all
strict
written.
rules.
They're written down.
Okay, it's a bar. It's a
We're
bar
sitting-
stool.
sitting at a bar
That's
stool.
why.
All right.
There's specific reasons for this.
Question
That's why.
one.
Gotcha.
Specifically.
Got you.
Question one: who approaches you from the other side of the bar and says, "Well, what'll it be? Who's that bartender? Anyone you want can be that bartender.
You just pick your bartender.
Pick
you
your
get a bartender.
bartender.
You haven't had a drink. You haven't had any
Who's
fun.
making it?"
You get a bartender. You want to be entertained.
Greg said piano bench. If you're sitting at a piano bench
There we
at a
go.
bar, potentially.
I'm done.
All right,
Go.
so Sage, who's your bartender? Tom Cruise from Cocktail is off the board. Sage has taken Tom Cruise.
Well, and to be fair, these guys are all writing it down. We're not just you can have whoever you want. If there's two of the same answers, it's fine.
It's who you
That's
want.
true.
We're going.
There's going to be some differentiation.
Random.
All right, so we give some people a chance. We can throw additional questions out before all questions have been answered. Just be clear about which question you're answering. I'm assuming that it'll be easy to tell the difference between these things. So, who's your bartender? I know who mine is, but I'm not going to say it. I've written it down, and I've.
AGH, this is fun. It can be any culture you want it to be. It doesn't have to be American culture.
Greg Martin
If
is.
you're going to listen from across the pond, you can do across the pond culture.
Sydney Sweeney is Greg's bartender, and Bill Cosby is Ken Harris's bartender.
What?
Yes.
Ken.
It's whoever you want.
Ken.
It's whoever you want.
I thought that was a no. I thought he was
He's
crossed
looking-
off the list.
Ken
I thought we said
Harris-
we're not allowed to use him anymore.
Well,
That
apparently
is-
he's looking for the
so
double
creepy.
roofie. If Ken Harris enjoys the flavor of a double
I
roofie,
guess,
who are we to
sure,
judge?
yeah.
That's consent. I think in a court of law, what you just did can be ruled as consent to whatever happens to you that
Holy
night.
crap, Ken.
Not Ken Meringolo, Ken Harris.
Oh, here we go.
Correct.
We have another entrant, and I love it.
Okay. EO. Oh, yes. Three Amigos bartender. Do you have beer? It's kind of like beer.
All right, so I
The
think-
best
I
must
think-
be watered down.
T, do you have an answer?
Right, EO?
I don't.
All right, so I have one,
This
but
is for the board.
AGH is going with Alfie Moon, played by Shane Ritchie. We're going to put it down.
There we go. I love it.
I can't believe no one took Sam Malone. I would love to get a beer from Sam Malone. You know what's weird? I would never even think about asking him for
What
a
about
cocktail.
Coach? Coach comes in as a second for you.
Or I would.
And
I
Woody
love
was pretty
Coach.
damn good, too.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
that was
I'd
a hell of
probably.
a trio.
Woody was going to be my, I think, one of my. But I also went about it the other way. I was thinking about it as you can name a personality just to be your bartender.
Yeah,
but
like
not-
Vince Vaughn.
Not specifically a bartender, like Sydney Sweeney. How Greg answered. I'm not sure if she's got her license in the state of Jersey, but I'm guessing it's a big fat no. All right. Well, we got bartenders. All right. Second question is: you sit down in front of said bartender. You haven't eaten food. You've been eating whatever they give you right after they're done doing
T
whatever
said
they
they've
did
been
to you.
they've been probing you for a little
So
while.
what are you going to get to eat? It's a dish, not like I want a little bit of this and some of that. Like just
developed
give me a dish.
A probing hunger.
Give me an order. Give me an order. You are starving.
Your body is ready to send something out the five hole
You're
instead of
happy as
taking
shit
so
that
much
Alfie
in the
Moon,
five
the
hole.
the Cos, Tom Cruise, the Three Amigos dude, and Sydney Sweeney are popping them. But you got to get a bite. You got to get a bite because we got a long night planned out. It's not a long night, short night. 3 more questions, but
And your insides are just ready to absolutely tackle whatever demons.
I think this is an all-time life scenario of what you're
yeah,
going to eat.
it's like a Last Supper, but it's a
First?
It's like a first supper.
Yep. Bar. Well, it can
A
be
first,
anything,
last
right?
supper.
It does not have to be bar food.
No,
No, it could be anything.
It can be whatever the hell you decide it is.
Kitchen's open.
AI is relentless.
My thing is, if you haven't eaten that much, I don't want to go too heavy.
Oh, you're gonna feel thicky.
Dude,
Yeah.
let's not worry about these things.
What's wrong with you?
Let's not worry about the digestive properties of the planet freaking wherever we're at.
They have
I'm
a
thinking-
they have a bathroom on premise.
But probably French toast.
They have a little pill
It's
you
a
take
bar
afterwards.
stool. It's a bar stool
French toast
toilet.
at the bar.
Covered-
So it's like a Sunday football scenario. You're
covered
ready
in
to load up for the
peanut
day.
butter, syrup, and that's it. Cinnamon,
All right, here we go. We're getting some answers.
but nothing too heavy. But keep the heavy stuff.
All right,
heavy stuff back in the
AGH is
kitchen.
going chorizo chicken with mash. Sounds great.
Steak pizzaiola from Ken Harris. He's been in an Italian kitchen in his day. That's an all-day experience too. That meal, you're gonna need a bartender for that meal.
It's fair. You're allowed. This is your first last
Yeah.
meal or last first or
All right, so I'm a French toast guy.
it's a pizziola.
Pizzaiola. I'll let Ken explain it, but I mean it's got obviously you got
I
steak.
said nothing.
You
Is it
got
a
the
pizza
sauce.
or
I
is
said
it like a
nothing. Old
stromboli or
Super
what?
Mario.
No,
was like,
no.
Pizzaiola.
Pizzaiola.
I don't know.
I mean-
so I'll say it like this.
You obviously get the crust. Wait, AGH doesn't like my peanut butter? Is that
No, nobody likes your peanut butter. And what the hell's
Carnitas.
wrong with you? Why would that be
Carnitas.
your like
Street tacos.
go-to? You haven't had it.
And carnitas is the face of the cow, right, Sage? Carnitas, face of the cow.
No.
Oh, that's
Dude,
barbacoa.
come on,
Damn
man.
it.
Carnitas
Sorry.
is pork. It's a pork street taco.
My bad, yo. You're getting some good sauce in that pizzaiola. All right, just know you're getting the good stuff.
Is it a pizza?
No.
It's all peanut butter on French toast definitely is not something I've done, and I don't plan on doing. But to each their own.
I'm sure it's delicious, but it wouldn't be a good.
I don't think it would be bad. I just love it the way it is, so I'm good with
Yeah.
it.
And just so we're clear, you just take a big glob of peanut butter and you smash it on the side of the plate. You don't put it on top of the French toast.
Right, and do you know what a pizzaiola
You're
is?
dipping it in. You're dipping it in. I'll probably pull up a picture of it for you. Swine.
Right.
EO is just going with swine.
Man,
Like a pig roast.
Greg is struggling up there with his final first and last meal.
You got nothing, Greg. All right, let's throw out the third question while people still chew on the second question.
Well, we know we got to keep it topical up in this bad boy zone. Wherever planet we're at, the AI is bringing back one former skin for your conversational purposes for your entirety of that evening at the bar.
This is going to have some crossover.
That's fine.
This
And
one's
that's
going to
good.
be interesting.
And you're allowed one,
Yes.
but one former skin. You haven't talked to anybody in front. You're going to get one skin to shoot the shit with at this evening. You got to pick one. He's your guy.
There may only be one.
What did Greg answer? It didn't come up. You guys get one?
For food,
Yeah.
he's still thinking.
No, he said already answered, but we're not getting it unless it's Sydney Sweeney.
It's not Sydney Sweeney. Wait, unless it is. All right, I'm going to give you guys. Here you go.
That's a little-
Let's see if I can pull this off.
I knew Ken Harris was going to say Sonny, and I
Yeah,
think I
that's a
would have
great
too.
one.
I would have said Sonny as well. To be fair,
So any Redskin you can pull back to
anyone
hang out with the bar with you. And
This is your conversation, your night, your choice, your
I'll
guy.
wait. I'll wait till the board really weighs in. I'm interested now to see if others would have the same as me.
so you can pair that up with some breading of any kind, or you could obviously do some fettuccine on the side of that, which I like to do. Anyways, that's just a little steak pizzaiola for you. Froze from Greg Martin.
No, it froze. But we still don't have the answer, Greg. It just never came up. So
Can I say Sean Taylor?
you can say whatever you want, Ken.
I'm saying Sean Taylor. I'm gonna bring him back.
We just
your bar.
we need EO up in here for one. As we're moving on, as you're sitting watching, your bartender eating your food, talking to your Redskin. Aside from football, it's non-football. Cannot be football. What sporting event do you want to watch that you haven't seen? You got to watch it. You're dying to watch it. It is not college football. It's no football. Anything else? We want to know about what you got.
So a non-football answer to a sporting event that you want to see,
Dexter.
right, Kev?
Say it again.
A non-football sporting event that you have got that you want to see more than any other one.
Non-football sporting event. It's on for happy hour. We got a late night planned
Okay.
out. There's 2 more questions.
Greg Martin went with sushi as Sydney Sweeney as the plate.
Sushi off of Sydney Sweeney's. I'm guessing her
Just
knee.
Uber account.
Just some
Knee.
a little
I'm with
spicy
AGH.
tuna.
I'm with AGH on the Redskin, by the way. He meant Rigo.
He corrected it.
Of course, it has to be regular.
All right, EO went with Dexter. There's some very good answers there, gentlemen.
Top heavy. That's actually a well thought out answer.
Ken Harris says Masters
beach
for the
volleyball.
event.
Yep, I had Masters in my mix as well,
Yeah.
but
EO's going female beach volleyball. Yeah, so AGH,
you're watching an American show.
yeah, you can go soccer here.
yeah, you do whatever you do, and
Not
and yes,
football. It's
Yes.
soccer.
you can
watch
pick soccer. You just can't pick anything Redskins or NFL.
Masters is it for me. I can't. I mean, if I can't do football because Super Bowl is more than that. But it's 4 days during around the Easter weekend or whatever. Usually have some wherewithal to
Spring.
Yeah,
Springtime.
spring. I mean,
NCAA tournament.
yeah,
It's a no-brainer for me. Final Four.
Come on.
Final Four.
The best
all
sporting
day.
event.
Yep.
All day. Even though basketball is dwindling, the tournament is still the tournament,
Yep.
and I freaking adore it.
It is. Where are we at? Oh, AGH has to come up with a sporting event. And then what do we got? How many more?
2.
2 more. What's the next one?
Whatever human being you always wanted to buy you a drink, who could it be that looks over there and buys you a drink and you're like,
Someone's buying you a drink.
Yeah, I said it. This is a foreign planet, Ken.
I mean, so I still can say Sydney Sweeney when Greg can't.
You can. No, but you're not really part of it because Greg
true.
is. So, Greg, you can also. But Greg can't.
Greg
already
can't.
said it once.
You
yes.
can't take Sydney Sweeney for this, Greg.
All right. Man, you victory.
Yeah, watching his team beat. Oh, yeah, Wrexham in the
Beating
Premier
Man
League for
United.
sure.
Wrexham
great.
beating Man United.
All right. Who's buying you a cocktail? Who in the history of history?
Who's buying you a cocktail?
I got boxing match. Yes, sir. You're golden. Now who's buying you that drink? Who's looking across and is like, damn, Greg, Andrew, Ken, EO.
Alyssa Milano is buying AGH his drink, he says.
There
Which
you
I
go.
love.
There you go, AGH. Yes.
I could go Nicole Eggert just to bookend that, but I don't know. She's kind of soured over the years. She had some great years. Anybody?
This is gonna be tough.
Anybody?
This is gonna be tough. Oh, well, I thought I was banned from saying, so I'm no longer saying Salma Hayek.
Nope.
I won't say it anymore.
I should have
I
said it
will
before
not.
you could have. Yeah, you can. You could. Especially since-
Can I put in her heyday Elle McPherson?
You can put anything.
Yeah, we're
you
going
want.
down the road here. Greg Martin says Marilyn Monroe.
Ooh.
So far, no one said anything like,
Always had a soft spot for old Elle.
Babe Ruth or, Muhammad Ali back in his prime. But Muhammad Ali
I like Top
sitting
Hat.
at a
Top
bar
Hat
next
is
to you.
Definitely in my wheelhouse here.
Can you imagine? Or Prince? Just trying to think of characters. People who I would just blow my mind. I just saw Prince on a show the other night.
So there is only one more question. But I'm dying to hear Ken's answer for this
no.
round.
Okay.
Dying to hear it. All right. Yeah, I knew it, Ken. I knew it. I knew it after that first answer. You had to come
Aw,
strong.
She's in the room.
Yes,
isn't
she
Ken?
is.
She's in the room.
Michelle she's, by the way, she's the one on all our algorithms. We're like, all right, that's the one whose click we're trying to capture and her attention.
All right, guys.
so smart.
Here's the final one.
Yep.
After the game's over, you're sitting there. You got your red skin. You got this lovely lady just bought you a drink, and there's gonna be some live music at this joint because there's got to be one band. That's it. One band. It can be a solo. It can be a band, but you can't be a solo and a band. So Ken's rule.
Yeah, you pick one
One
guy.
band in the jukebox. That's it.
Yes.
Yeah, and if you take a solo act, you don't get to take any
you
act
get-
he was a part of.
And they're playing for 2 hours. So
Oh, they're live. Nice.
It's live.
Oh, okay.
I believe
AI, man. AI, artificial.
I believe they said it on Family Guy best when they said, if you lick a toad, you're licking every toad that toad's licked. And I believe that's true.
Ken Harris. Look at these
You need to
answers
have
coming out
the-
quickly.
And now you know. The
And now you
the big
know.
rainbow star that says, now you know.
By the way, that's an old,
Ken
that's
Harris
an old
going
school episode.
Foo Fighters up in this bad boy. EO with a little GNR.
They're on the board.
Top heavy. You had me until GNR.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
You don't like GNR?
I mean, okay.
All right.
I'm so sad right now. My whole childhood.
I don't understand.
I'm not-
how
We
they're
were
okay.
born
Big
2 weeks
metal guy.
apart.
I just don't. I'm not.
Jimi Hendrix Experience by Greg Martin, also a decent answer if you like that kind of all-time greatness thing.
And then we got AGH clocking in
Bon Jovi.
with Bon Jovi. All righty. So, just like Greg always likes to say at the end, which I do appreciate, name the bar. Name your alien bar. Name that alien bar. That's it. And we're done.
Name that thing.
And this is the hardest part of all. And it's where Ken has struggled. It's where I have struggled. T just names it after himself every time. And it's great. You don't have to think. He just boom. And then you and I
T
struggle.
is a great letter.
It's the Black Muff Hole.
Who said that?
The Black Muff Hole.
Why do you answer?
Because he likes to say
It's a
stuff.
Sorry, I didn't mean to take that answer away from you,
That
Ken
was
Harris.
terrible. That was a terrible answer.
What's better? I can't think of a black hole. How do you muffify a black hole? You got to make the muff black.
Greg Martin going straight up. Yeah, there you go.
I've never ever had.
Boobs and booze.
Yeah. This is gonna be tough.
Anyone?
This is gonna be tough. Oh, I'm not naming shit. This is the hardest part. I wish you didn't too.
I mean, I have more names.
I know you do.
I got tons of names. I mean, I love because it's in space.
See, Greg
right?
went with the T theory. The first thing, straight arrow. First thing that pops out, boom.
Just get it out there,
Because
dude.
then once you start, this is a question where once you start, you're like, oh god.
Full
Oh,
moon.
God.
You can go full moon.
Oh,
You can
God.
go
Oh my AGH. Jesus.
the muff diving club.
Yeah, AGH. Just dive right in there, bro.
Guys.
Mustang Pub and Grill. I like it.
Oh.
AGH. Wait, is Ken Harris's middle initial G? That'd be great because we could have an AGH and a KGH. I don't think we do. though.
Mendoza line. I love that.
Who's that? Is that
Top heavy. EO. All right. So, Mendoza
All right.
line.
You got everybody?
You guys know what the Mendoza line is? Numerically.
200? I appreciate that. I do think we should check in with each other on those kinds of things.
I do too.
It's
I
a
don't.
baseline. 2 out of
It's
3.
an old baseball thing. I knew you would.
Math.
No.
Numbers.
All right. So, guys, here it is. So, can I say it real fast so you guys can see it? Greg went with Sydney Sweeney, sushi to eat. Chris Cooley's hanging out with. He's watching a boxing match with Marilyn Monroe, listening to Jimi Hendrix at Boobs and Booze.
It's not bad.
I wrote boobs and boobs
Let's hear the
because I've been
others.
boozing.
I'm going to reserve.
AGH.
He was in the
He's
lead.
got Alfie Moon bartending. He's eating chorizo. And what was it?
Chicken.
Chorizo chicken. Yes.
And mash.
Which is
With mash.
they have that in
He's got
Wales?
Rigo. He wants a victory over Manchester United for his Wrexham boys. Hanging out with Alyssa Milano, listening to Bon Jovi at the Muff Diving Club. It's a sentence AGH never thought he'd hear about himself. I
That's
would
a dead.
imagine.
That's a close race.
I love
right there.
Wrexham doing well.
So
as
Ken
well.
Harris coming out the gates without Mrs. Harris in the room, picking the cause as the bartender. Steak pizza. Say it,
I
Ken.
see where he's going here. I see where he's
Steak
going here.
pizzaiola. Wait, here we go. He's getting a little bit of this guy right
Getting
there.
A little steak pizzaola.
Bam.
He's hanging out with Sonny Jurgensen, watching the Masters with his lovely wife, listening
Yes.
to the Foo Fighters at the Mustang Pub and Bar. And then finally, we got our man EO. He's got the bartender from the Three Amigos.
Who I
He
love.
is eating street tacos, carnitas to be specific, and they are spectacular. He's hanging out with Dexter Manley, watching female beach volleyball, hanging out with Margot Robbie, listening to Guns N' Roses at the Mendoza line. Gentlemen, T, you're up first, only because, I don't know, I felt like saying T's up first.
I think I'm gonna be okay with Guns N' Roses. I'm definitely going with EO there at the end. He was in the lead the whole time.
E-O.
I kind of wavered a little bit on it, but then at the end he pulled it out. That's the bar I want to beat.
Who you got, Kev?
No, you're first.
Oh, I tried to swing that. I
know
knew-
you did.
I
I know
knew-
you did. I know you did.
I knew it was gonna be like a 40% chance, maybe a 20% chance I could make you vote before me. I would say it's between EO and Ken Harris for a couple of reasons. I'm a Foo Fighters guy, hardcore. I love the pandering to the wife. We were the same with the Masters. I guess I'm gonna have to go with Ken Harris because GNR. would have swung it for me for Yo, but I'm going to go with Ken Harris because I love the Foo Fighters, and at the end of the day,
Well, I mean,
4
somebody's
days
got
of
to
the
keep an
Masters.
eye on Bill while the other two are passed out. So, or the other three.
True.
So
It's true. It's going to be a team effort.
they need a spotter. So
I didn't think I'd be picking the answer that had Bill Cosby in it. Let's just say that. There was a lot to overcome, but he did it.
I think he needs to go on the shelf.
Yeah.
Can't be talked about anymore.
All right. So, to be fair, I did not select Ken Harris specifically because of his first answer, just to make Ken feel better about his last vote.
That's fair.
Because the rest of his, it was pretty flawless. AGH, you did screw yourself with Alfie Moon. Like, if there's
Yeah.
a lot of human beings I want to see, but the first guy I want to see
That's
to hand me
his
a
show.
drink is, yeah, I get it.
That's his show.
I know, and I'm just being honest. And not that
you were
I'm
right
sure
there,
Alfie Moon's a great
AGH.
guy. So I was. It came
had me
down.
at a
It
list,
came down. It was very, very tight. But I went with Dexter over Cooley and Guns N' Roses over Jimmy, and I sided with EO at the Mendoza
Ooh, he's
line.
got a
There's a
2-1.
winner. And there
EO,
is your winner.
EO. It was actually everyone played very well. When we play, there's always somebody that is definitely not winning, and it's been me. It's been all of us. But I think everyone had a chance to be in the mix tonight.
Greg's
Yep.
fired up. He's really fired up. Doesn't like the music choices.
Who?
Greg.
Yeah.
Hey, to each their own. You know. I mean,
That's why I love this particular.
I love
group
all four of those bands.
people.
To tell you the truth, I have no problem with that.
Because to be honest with you, in order to on a weekly basis entertain these scenarios, you have to really believe that like you're preparing yourself for this exact scenario. So the Greg Martins or the for many people, the Greg Martins of the world are just the people that they work with who might take issue with a variety of things they might do throughout the day. But for us, our Greg Martin is actually Greg Martin, and he is not going to stand for things that he doesn't think should push their way to the top of the list.
And he's not standing for this. And he says it's because he now is going to enact a strict entrance policy at Boobs and Booze. So maybe we're not invited anyway.
Yeah. There's going to be
He's going to take his boobs and booze and go home.
I love it. I mean, there's already he's like, you know what? We had a window, but no more. There's
No,
more
HH,
windows.
we do not know who Alfie is. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a
Alfie
really
Moon.
cool guy, though. If you like him,
I mean, we're all
if you
gonna
like
like
him, I like him.
I mean, I'm rooting for Wrexham. I wasn't a Alyssa Milano fan.
Yeah.
He almost had me at her. I mean,
I'm just saying,
her
everything
alone
was
could have
good. I
been
know.
Yeah.
a deal sealer.
I know, but then the whole NHL
but
gets
then
involved.
Marco
It's
Robbie.
tough.
I mean, come on.
All right, so here's the scheduling for us for the next couple weeks. Next week, be you and I. He'll be on vacation,
I can't wait.
just the two of us.
Can I drunk in?
Can you scoot that
will you?
way?
Yes.
Will you answer the phone?
My wife is the only one that she sets an alarm for this.
All right. Well, since you have Wi-Fi, but I want to try the video thing so we can test it. All right.
But how about like I don't need to be on for the entirety of the hour.
No, don't worry. You weren't on the entirety of the hour last
Trust
time.
me, I
either.
know because I forgot. I forgot, and my wife came up and handed it to me, and I was like, "What are you doing?" And she was like, "It's the show. You're supposed to be on your show." And I was like, "Oh God."
So you canceled yourself.
Hello?
Then. That was you canceling yourself at the end.
No, I forgot.
We thought you were told to get off the phone.
No, I heard myself in the echo, and I was like, "I sound like this. Maybe I should get off the phone."
Oh, I was like, don't hang up. Don't hang up. Don't you ever hang up.
T told me I wouldn't stop giggling.
You wouldn't stop giggling.
Ken Harris says Haktua is coming in for Cosby.
Woo!
That's why it's a team. That's the reason why I put my faith in this organization.
See, the crazy part of that first round draft pick out of
Yeah.
Ken Harris was that how are you going to taste the steak pizziola if you've been served by the cause? You're not even going to remember that you had a conversation with Sonny, that you saw a young and ripped Scheffler Jr. win his 13th Masters.
I mean, look at that T. That is Italian.
I would devour that.
greatness.
That's
Yeah, it is.
what kind of steak is it?
It's steak pizzaiola. It's an
No,
Italian.
what kind of steak?
It's
like a
you can see
loin
it's.
chop.
Oh, that's
not
actually
a
that's
New
a
York
good
strip.
question.
I'm going to tell you, it's going to be on the fatty side. This is not going to
Yeah.
be a lean. This is not going to be a sirloin. This is going to have some marble in it because is going to have to stand up to all that business on it.
What is that? A T-bone? There's not a T-bone.
There's a bone.
There's definitely a bone. I wouldn't say it's a chop. It also could be, I don't know. It's something, man. Something's going on there.
I
think Ken's on to something. It's something.
I have no idea, but I want to make it. Especially when you
Right?
say it takes all day.
By the way,
Yes.
I love that
the
shit.
saltimbukka, the chicken saltimbukka, and the shrimp scampi you brought for Meal Train was spot on. And I have to get the recipe for the Caesar dressing.
Good.
You're right.
Family of 5 and a family of 4.
It was crack.
It's crack. It's just a recipe, but I like making it.
Awesome.
Good. I'm glad you liked it.
You're not going to be happy when you hear what's in there. That's good.
Well, it's going to be 9 billion calories, and I didn't put any good
Oh,
stuff
I
in it.
forgot too. The homemade cheesecake.
Oh! Well, if you would have saw the apron he was wearing,
It was,
the assless apron.
let's just say it was made by flour, that apron.
Mm.
And sweat.
It was the apron, the flour, and sweat brought.
It was well done. Well done.
Oh, for God's
Thanks
sake.
to all
that's
that are doing the meal
that's-
train.
There's a huge, gigantic portion of human beings that have been doing that. And I knew, listen, he's a competitive guy, and I don't want to win. I just don't want to lose. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
somebody is
Yeah.
going to have brought tea,
You're
and he
certainly
will
not
never
losing.
say it. He's not going to say it, but somebody's going to do something. And you're going to be like,
You're certainly not losing.
damn. Even though you still know it's an amazingly nice gesture, but somebody's going to try. Who's going to do it? Somebody's going to try to go to. Those recipes are our family. Like, that's what we do in our family forever. And yeah, of course, it was fun. By the way, we made double, and we ate the same shit.
But you should.
Of course, you have
That's the
to.
way it works.
You have to, and it's so cheap. I was like, this is so easy. Thanks, Costco.
I did have garlic oozing from my pores. For days.
I know. I love it. It's terrible. No. I double or triple it. I'm a garlic fanatic. I know. There you go, Ken.
I'm just playing this out a little.
Ooh, another Tuesday in the books, everybody. Yes.
Hey,
You're right.
See you guys in 1 week.
Thank you guys for being so good at this, because this ain't easy. Trust me.
That was fun.
It is fun.
Let's do it again next week, everybody.
We'll see you on Tuesday night. We're still live.
Will we see them? We won't actually see them.
They send pictures they can. I'm going to send you a
I would
pic.
love to see pictures of everybody.
Oh, we got to do the video thing.
By the way, we're sharing revenue with EO, which I love. It's the proudest moment of my life.
Beautiful.
We're literally making our audience money.
These boners weren't going to detach themselves.
These boners are making minimum wage.